Yeah, my passion for entrepreneurship. I really like to make things happen. I like to change things. When I was president of the Anthropology Society at UCLA, I put together a new sort of grad talk. I used to have professor talks, but this was so that all the undergraduates could talk to the graduate students, basically figure out, because after they graduate, they're going to be facing the same problems that graduate students did. They're going to have to figure out what they're going to do with their future. And I like to give people as options, you know? I felt that it really helped solve a problem.
That is? Okay, and what kind of other entrepreneurship activities have you participated in?
Well, you know, I haven't started a lot of business. I feel that my research, actually, that I did at UCLA was, in many ways, entrepreneurial. You know, it just means starting an enterprise. It's really a spirit of independence, is the way I see entrepreneurialism. My research was different, really, from anyone else's. I applied for the thesis that they had in the anthropology department, but because it was so different from anyone else's, they wouldn't actually give it to me. But I set out on my own, and I created my own methodologies and did my own research with, you know, no one really able to you know, back me up on that. My research was on the information entropy of breakdancing, and it used network theory. So I drew from a lot of different areas, including network theory, some natural language analysis, and then of course my knowledge of breakdancing, because I was a breakdancer. So I like to pull things from a lot of different areas and make something new, and that's what I think I would bring to starting a business.
And why you think you will benefit from attending this track?
Well, like I said, a lot of sort of me putting things together has been in academia. So I believe that you know, getting the inside scoop on how startups work, on how to put those together, would really open new doors for me. You know, not just like really, you know, making connections with venture capital and other startups, things like that, but more open doors in my mind. You know, I start thinking outside the box, or outside the box that I currently think in. I started thinking about entrepreneurialism in you know, web development and web applications when I was a recruiter in San Francisco. So I worked with a lot of different startups. I went to some meetups, you know, of programmers and stuff like that, because I was also teaching myself programming at the time. And I started getting an idea of how you can sort of bootstrap a new idea and make it into a successful business. But I need a little bit more on that, and a fuller picture. So that's what I think I would get out of it.
Okay. And how you think this experience will impact your career goals?
Well, like I said, I have a background in academia, but I'm really interested in solving problems, you know, and making the world a better place through technology. One question that I've been trying to solve for a long time is, how do I find a good restaurant? You know, Yelp just doesn't cut it. It tells me what, you know, the average person on the street might think is a good restaurant, but it doesn't tell me what I think I'm going to be a good restaurant, or what I think will be a good restaurant. As America becomes more and more diverse, we have a lot of different cultures, you know? And one idea of, say, what a good Chinese restaurant is not going to be the same thing as someone else's idea of a good Chinese restaurant. There's a story, one of my friends in Fresno, he's like my best friend from Fresno, he's Cambodian, and one of his buddies was in the Navy, and they were in somewhere down south, you know, and all his buddies were like, oh yeah, you gotta check out this Chinese restaurant, man, you know, you're Asian, you're gonna appreciate it, man, you know, and they were all black, you know, so they take him to this restaurant, you know, and what it is it's like old Mammy's Chinese restaurant or something. That sounds a little bit racist, and I apologize for that. The point is that they liked it because it suited their tastes. You know, he had a different idea of what good Asian food was, so he didn't like it. The question becomes not one of like, well, how do you get recommendations is the way that Yelp looks at it, or even the way Google looks at the problem. How do we sort of predict what you're going to like? The question becomes one of cultural search, and not just identifying what restaurant you're going to like, but the actual culture of the person. As an example, I'm white, but living in Fresno, growing up with lots of Hmongs, Cambos, Vietnamese, in some ways my culture is a little bit Asian, Whereas there's someone at the School of Information here, you look at him, he's Korean, but he was adopted by a white family, so his culture is going to be, in some ways maybe more white than mine. White, We use these racial terms, but really what we're talking about is culture. That's what I think I could bring to a new enterprise, is thinking about people and not just technology, I'm looking forward to meeting you. Thank you.